Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday, June 1st in the MLB. Our six favorite picks are on the way on this Sunday slate of action. As always, it's Austin, joined by Logan, recapping winning day for us 3-2. One of our losers was only a half unit play. Our strikeout sheet as Brandon fought. What the hell was that? He did not record a single out yesterday. We needed 3 Ks from him. But the other picks were surgical, Logan. Great call in the first fives. Marlins plus a half. They win it outright. They over in the Angels Guardians first five. What did they have, like 8 runs? We would say, and Freddie to get a hit. Luzardo, we just missed on the hook, man. That was so close to hitting. No, we gave up 12 earned runs. What the hell was that? That just summarized our season. But hey, we'll take a 3-2 day, Logan. Great work. Let's dive back into today's slate of action. We got Sunday's picks incoming. No NBA video today as the NBA finals are a few days away on the 5th. So NBA viewers will be back in a few days for that. But Logan, you've been dialed in on the first five yesterday. Let's see if you can do it once again today. You got 2 first five picks. Let people know the first one.
Yeah, so the first 5 picks did treat us nicely yesterday. I want to stay hot on them. I really do. The first one's going to be a first 5 run line. I'm taking the Atlanta Braves first 5 run line plus a half, minus 110 odds on FanDuel is your best value there. Now, yesterday, similar to what we had with the Marlins first 5, we need the Braves to be either tied or leading through 5 innings in this one for it to cash. Again, I really do like the plus a half in the first 5 because they could tie and this bet would still cash. So we do have the push on our side, or at least not the push, but like the tie equity there. The Braves yesterday in their game, they won the first 5-0. All their runs came early in that game. I like to see their bats kind of up and active in the early innings because that's where we're going to need today. But what we really also need is a good Bryce Elder start. And he starts for the Braves, 4.5 ERA and 1.25 WHIP. Now, Bryce Elder is not my favorite pitcher historically to back, but at home, that's where I feel comfortable backing him, where he's pitching today. 3.27 ERA at home compared to a 5.73 ERA on the road. You got to look at these pitchers' home and road splits because some of these pitchers just really struggle pitching on the road, but at home, they are backable. And that's kind of the category I'm putting Bryce Elder in. With runners in scoring position, he's allowing a 259 batting average, which is okay. I'll say that's passable. But with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, that batting average drops to 188. So he's been pretty good with the gotta have an out scenario for Bryce Elder. Boston also hitting 231 against righties on the road. At Fenway, I'm always hesitant to really fade the Red Sox bats because I don't really know if they're gonna if that pays. But on the road, I'm okay with fading them, especially on this spot against the righty. Bryce Elder, go do your job, hopefully. And then on the other side, it's Garrett Crochet starting for the Red Sox, 2.04 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Great season for Garrett Crochet, the Red Sox new ace. But on Sundays, guys, historically, I fade aces on Sunday, just how it is. And, everyone wants me to say that's how baseball works, but it's so weird. On Sundays, aces typically save their worst stuff for Sundays. Don't know why, don't know how. But Crochet faced the Braves in May. Went 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. Again, they put up some hits on him over the course of 7 innings. That's a lot. So they have a ton of familiarity against Garrett Crochet. That should work in the Braves' favor today. I really do like that. And then the first time through the order, you have to really look. You have to get your magnifying glass out to look at where Crochet's weaknesses are. Because statistically, he's been so great this year. The small weakness in Crochet's game is first time through the order, batters have had their success. He's allowing a 255 batting average first time through the order, and he gets better second and third time. So it's really important that the Braves in these early innings attack Crochet first time through the order because that's kind of where he's still figuring it out. Hopefully they can get some hits and runs up on Crochet at home. That's where I can trust the Atlanta Braves offense to really show up. Hitting 264 this season, whatever the road Braves do, I don't care because they sometimes take games off. But at home against an ace today, I think they show up and really bring the bats today. So I do like that first 5 innings run line as my first pick. But Austin, what you rolling with?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about 2 hit parlays. You could parlay all 4 of these guys, get a hit together if you want. I don't think we have the luck to cash all 4 if we parlay them, but I hope they all get the job done. We'll start with two hard-hitting lefties, and I like both their matchups. That will be Vinny Pasquantino and Shohei Ohtani, each to record a hit. I like them both to get 2+ bases, but I'll stick with the single. Simple as that. Yesterday we had Seiya and Freddie Freeman. Both of them did get 2+ bases, so you could have gone for some even better value. And maybe if we get hot on these hit parlays and the guys are really hitting the ball well, maybe we'll start to sprinkle on the 2+ bases for both of them. But for today, we just need a single from both these two guys. If they want to get the bases, go for it. We'll talk about Vinny, who's been really good against righties. We saw him yesterday. We saw them against Scooble, and let's be honest, hitting against Scooble's tough, and they always move Vinny down the lineup because they want that lefty on lefty matchup. But today it's Kiter Montero, and Montero's really struggled against lefties, allowing a 339 batting average. Vinny has seen him before. He's 1 for 3 with a homer, so there's bases in there if you want to. He's going to be moved back up in that 3 spot. You see the Royals as pretty sizable favorites today. I think it's because we see there's offense show up, and I think he can get a hit against Kiter Montero. He's been hitting the ball pretty hard with a hit in 8 of his last 10. Then we go to Ohtani, late night, Sunday night baseball. Ohtani, we know he's been scorched earth. I mean, what do you have in 15, 16 home runs in May? He has a hit in 75% of his last 20 games, so 16 of 20. And he's been actually pretty good against lefties, batting .329 with a .407 batting average on balls in play. Today gets Brian Yarborough, the lefty, starting for the Yankees. They need some length out of him, given how far or short Will Warren went yesterday, not even getting through 2 innings. But we've seen him actually to have decent splits. First, Yarborough, 4 for 10, batting .400 in his 10 plate appearances with a 50% hard hit rate. Yarborough is giving up a .245 batting average to lefties. If you look at his ERA to lefties, it's a 1.42, but his FIP is a 3.79. So there's some regression looming in there for him. I think both these two guys get a hit. Simple as that, Vinny and Shohei. If you want something for Shohei, I actually think they pitch to him because right behind Shohei is going to be Teoscar Hernandez, who has 7 home runs lifetime against Yarborough. So again, I think if I'm Yarborough, I don't want to see Shohei get on. I'd rather live with him hitting me than having potentially walking Teoscar, who, like I said, 7 home runs and less than 40 ABs. The next two guys I really like, and we'll go through them before we go back to Logan, is Steven Kwan and Trey Turner. Both the recorded hits, -130. I looked at Manny Machado filling in for Trey here, but I really think Trey back at home against lefties for the Phillies, trying to avoid a sweep to the Brewers. I trust him a little bit more than Manny Machado, but I do like Manny Machado today against Andrew Heaney. The main person I really like, though, is Steven Kwan. I know he historically has been bad to me. In fact, to end April and going into May, we were back at Steven Kwan when he has those 3 straight games hitless, and I swore him off. But it's a new month, and I'm willing to give him a chance because I think he has arguably the best matchup on the whole entire slate against Jack Kochanowicz. Now, let's talk about Kochanowicz. We've talked about him before. We faded him before with Cody Bellinger, a lefty. Today, we'll fade him with Steven Kwan, another lefty. Why is that? Because Kochanowicz, 308 batting average allowed to lefties this season. Kwan has seen him before going 2 for 3 against him. And why do I love this matchup? Because Jack throws 45% sinkers to lefties and about 25-ish% four-seamer. Well, Kwan this season batting .455 versus the righty sinker, 350 expected batting average versus the four-seamer, 292 expected batting average. So again, I love Kwan in this matchup today. And then as for Trey Turner, he'll face Jose Quintana, a lefty. We've seen Trey destroy lefties this season, batting .338. They move him up to lead off against lefties, so should get the maximum amount of plate appearances we can see. He is all right splits against Quintana, only 6 for 27, so not the best, but it's a different version of Quintana. He's about same splits to lefties as he is to righties, so not really much in there. I just trust Trey here, trying to avoid a sweep. We know he has the speed to beat on an infield single. I just trust Trey against a lefty at home, trying to avoid a sweep. I'm confident he can get us a hit. So Trey Turner, Steven Kwan, Vinny, and Shohei, all 4 of you to get a hit is about plus 230. I'm not playing that, but surely I hope it hits. Maybe if all 4 hit, we'll start to do all 4 of them in a hit parlay. But we just need them all to get the job done. I certainly think they do that. But Logan has a second first 5 pick, and he's got the same recipe as yesterday. First 5 plus a half and a first 5 over. Logan, we need some runs. Where do we need them from?
Yeah, touching on your last pick, though, you say Trey Turner, and I say I'm in. I'm so down for that. Hopefully Trey does come through for that parlay. Now, you mentioned the recipe. I'm taking another first 5 over. I'm taking the Giants and Marlins first 5 innings over 3.5. -140 odds on BetMGM is your best value. Now, is this one a little bit more juice than I like to lay? Yeah. But again, guys, look at our season record. We need winners. I don't care really what the odds are. And if I had $1 for every time a first five ended on 4 on the dot, I'd be able to retire. It's such a weird phenomenon in baseball that they are sharp sometimes on these first 5 innings run line. So I'm gonna play the 3.5, but I also like this line at 4.5 at plus 125. I'd play the 3.5 up to like minus 150. Honestly, that's kind of where I play it, no more than that. But the 4.5 is a very viable option for the plus value you're getting. But I really do just want to take it for safety at 3.5. Yesterday, there was a total of 1 run scored in the first 5 innings of this game. We know that because we had the Marlins plus a half. They came through for us in a big way. But it's not like the Giants were just dead through those 5 innings. They still had runners on base. And today they're going to face Ryan Weathers, who starts for the Marlins, 1.15 ERA and a .89 WHIP. I'll tell you guys right now, Ryan Weathers is not finishing as the sub-2 ERA pitcher. That's just not going to happen. Weathers is making only his 4th start of the season. In his last start, he allowed 3 hits. But the concerning thing for him, at least, was he walked 3 batters. And that's a thing that I've noticed with Ryan Weathers over his career. Sometimes he has these games where he just really struggles to find the strike zone. And that's kind of what happened in that last start. Last season, if you really have to go back to last season, in my opinion, to pull Ryan Weathers' splits and his stats, batters had a 308 batting average against Weathers 2nd time through the order. That's a really, really high batting average. So it's like they take one pass through the lineup to like understand his pitch mix and everything. But when they get to him the 2nd time, that's kind of where the damage is done. And we're going to see that today through the 5 innings. What I think we're going to see from the Giants too is a much better showing offensively. Yesterday they were shut out, 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, 11 left on base. Giants offense is better than that. Yes, they are hit or miss, but I at least see them getting 2 to 3 runs up on Weathers himself. And then on the other side, it's going to be Hayden Birdsong starting for the Giants, 2.48 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. Now, like Weathers, again, he has a lower ERA because of sample size alone. I mean, he's only started 2 games this season, and on the road, his that was a bad start for Birdsong. 4.63 ERA on the road compared to a 1.29 ERA at home. 1 start on the road, 1 start at home. His road start was shaky, and I think that's what we're going to see once again from Birdsong today. Lefties are really having their way against Birdsong, and he allows a 274 batting average to lefties. We saw what the Marlins did yesterday against Robbie Ray, which was trying to stack the lineup with right-handed batters. But now they'll have their normal lefties back in the lineup, and that's kind of where Birdsong struggles, at least against those left-handed batters. And I mentioned Weathers kind of splits through the order. 2nd time through the order, batters are hitting 278 against Birdsong. Again, the limited sample size, I know, but that's kind of where I think he struggles as well. It's once you get a little familiarity with each of these 2 starting pitchers, I think that's when the offenses are going to really come to life. And then we should see that in the 3rd, 4th, 5th inning when the plate appearances are stacking. At home, this is where the Marlins typically do score their runs. Marlins hitting 248 versus righties at home, pretty solid average. Again, Marlins overs typically pay. That's at least if you're going on trends there. But I think just after a comically low scoring 1-0 game, we're going to see a lot of runs early and often in this game. So I love the first 5 over as my second little first 5 pick. Austin, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I really hope we can get hot with these first 5 picks.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it to kind of tag team on that one. We've seen the Marlins hit pretty well against righties. The last 4, they've put up 3 or more earned runs. We saw what they did to Stephen Kolek just a few starts ago out in San Diego. All those starts were on the road. So let's see if the Fish offense can show up. Now they got their lefties back in the lineup. I just don't know why they went all righties against Robbie Ray. They didn't have to switch up anything for his pitch mix. So that wasn't really a smart game plan. Let's hope they have a better game plan today against Birdsong. And I think Ryan Weathers certainly could get hit with some regression. We've seen a lot of runs in Miami. Let's see if they show up early today. Fine. And honestly, at a 3.5 line, if one of those guys doesn't have their A game, yeah, you could see a lot of runs. We saw that happen with Jesus Luzardo yesterday. Guys just don't have their A game. They could get tagged for a lot of runs. My second play, speaking of Jesus Luzardo, let's go back to the scene of the crime. A little 2-leg parlay. We have the Rangers Suarez under 2.5 earned runs and the Diamondbacks team total over 2.5. Now I get it. If you go to look for the D-backs team total, you're not going to see 2.5. You're probably going to see a juiced 4.5 or a 5.5 line. I don't mind the D-backs in any capacity today to score runs. I love their matchup today. And just speaking about them first and foremost, because they're kind of laid in here as a juice reducer, I honestly think they could cash that in the first 5 innings. I looked at their first 5 team total over 2.5. It just happened to be minus 135, so it ended up taking it. But They'll face Mitchell Parker, who has been terrible. Parker has allowed 3 or more earned runs by himself in 6 straight starts. He did face the D-backs, I believe, in early April. He only gave up 1 earned run in that game, had some base runners in there, was able to get out of jams in the game. Granted, that was at home, whereas this is on the road. He has struggled on the road, 6+ ERA on the road. We know how bad the Nats bullpen is as well. I just think that you'll see the D-backs also trying to avoid a sweep. They will see a pretty decent showing out of to go up against Mitchell Parker. I just trust that offense. It's been good against lefties over the last 2 years. Trust that they can get 3 runs through the whole entire game. We're not asking for 3 runs in the first 5, 3 runs, 8 or 9 innings. I trust them there. Then hopefully this comes down to Ranger Suarez, who has an identical matchup to Jesus Luzardo yesterday, taking his under 2.5 earned runs against the Milwaukee Brewers. Going back to the scene of the crime, we did that with Sonny Gray yesterday. Granted, he was in that parlay with Jesus Luzardo, and he easily got through 6. Let's see if Ranger can do the job. Ranger, I like him a little bit better than Luzardo because, one, he's a much more veteran pitcher, and he should be able to use the Brewers' aggressiveness, which was tattooing Luzardo yesterday. Should be able to use that to get some easy ground balls. It's kind of Ranger Suarez's game. He's not relying on the strikeouts like maybe Luzardo does. He can go out there and he might get 1K, but he could go 7 or 8 innings because he's just pitching so efficiently and getting the soft ground ball outs. And it's kind of been what Luzardo's done. The Brewers, prior to yesterday, really hadn't been a great offense versus lefties. I still don't know if just one great outcome against Jesus Luzardo is going to change their splits entirely. I trust Ranger here after his first start, which was rocky, I believe, against the D-backs. Last 4 starts, 0-0, 3, and then 0 earned runs. So did have a 3 earned run outing against the Pirates, gave up 3 earned runs there. Could happen today where he pitches 7 innings and gives up 3. The Phillies wouldn't be mad with that, but I think go out there and pitch pretty well. I really think that this is just a great spot to back Ranger in a day game. I just think he goes out there and shoves. That's what he does. He can get out of jams. He's just 0 earned runs his last 2 starts. Maybe he doesn't give up 0 today, but I don't think he gives up at least 3. So I like this under and earned runs for Ranger, parlayed with the D-backs to score 3, -119. I want to chase some plus value, but at the end of the day, we want winners, and I think this is a winning parlay. Ranger, do your job, and then we get to the D-backs to score 3 runs over the whole game. I think that's a winner. And then our final play, as normal, will be our strikeout hit rate sheet. We'll put it back in the Dub Club today. Sorry it didn't hit for everyone yesterday. There's a lot of aces on the mound today, so we'll try to find our best strikeout sheet to cook up for the people out there in the Dub Club. Reminder, you can get it early, or you can get it if you join the Dub Club. Use the link down below. It would be $5 for the first month. June's going to be a historic month for the COS channel. COS boys are going nuclear in MLB in June. That's just the rules. That's what I don't write the rules. We're having a big June. So join that Dub Club. Only $5 for your first month. Get on in there. Those are our picks. If you want me to recap them real quick, if you're tuning in, you're 17 minutes in, we appreciate you. Let's recap Logan's too. He's got Braves +0.5 in the first 5 and the over first 5 innings in Miami with the Giants and Marlins over 3.5. Then we also have that strikeout sheet. As for my picks, we got Vinny and Shohei each to record a hit. Stephen Kwan and Trey Turner each to record a hit. Ranger Suarez under earned runs parlayed with D-backs over 2.5. And that is the slate. 6 picks, 5.5 units risk. Let's have ourselves a day. And we'll see you guys back tomorrow with some more. It's Austin Logan. We're signing out. See you guys back on Monday with some more picks. See you then. Peace.